Yes.
Hello, good morning. This is Dan Parker coming to you from Can't See Creations here at my house. And I wanted to share with you both a problem and a project that I had and how I came up with a solution to create, in my mind, a better finger joint jig. I'm making lamps here at home and starting to sell them and finger jointing two contrast woods to really show how a finger joint works and the artistic value of it. I never did any woodwork until I was a student at the Louisiana Center for the Blind, but my whole life I've been a maker. You know, I've made things. I was a machinist, a welder, fabricator, sheet metal work, built race cars for a living. So I have a lot of experience that I can carry over to woodwork, and it's been a blessing for me to be able to sort of reflect on what I knew before and how I could intertwine it into what I'm doing now. And a finger joint is a series of notches. And this is my old finger joint jig. This is a sled that I would feed through the table saw, pick up the part, index it over, cut the notch, take that notch, and index that creates the location point for the next notch. The problem is you have to shim to the thousandths between this locating stud and the offset of your dado blade, and then also the width of your dado blade. Well, then if one of these fingers gets broke off or there's a little shift in error, that multiplies down the whole length of your part. You know, one error is multiplying and adding to the next error. So I designed a new style of finger joint jig that would use a dowel and locating off of this principle notches to locate the previous finger joint. I mean the new finger joint, not having to use any existing finger joint to locate the next finger joint. So I made this simple fixture, put it in my mill machine, drilled a hole, put a dowel in it, offset it 1.5 inches exactly, and took this board. So then I would drill a hole, and then that hole would locate the next hole. The little tight woods were swole up some morning, and then all the way down. So then that gave me a whole series of holes. Then I cut the board long ways through the center of the notches to create this new style of finger joint jig here. I have all the location half notches, and at the bottom of this I glued the other corresponding piece and have two dowels. So now these dowels fall in place of these holes and locate each finger joint. And so therefore no finger joint is locating the next finger joint. So now I'm going to demonstrate how finger joints are cut, the process in itself. Fine woodworkers have been using finger joints and dovetails for centuries. You know, all the vintage furniture that's so artistic is both form and function. You know, the joints was the strength in the project, and as a true craftsman to be able to create those by hand. And so now I'm going to share with you what I've created. This is a lamp. two sides are cedar, two sides are poplar, and then this finger joint is showing the contrasting wood. And everybody says it looks good. I don't know because I'm 100% blind, but I chose the techniques, the style, the design, everything. A friend of mine, Matt, picked out my antique brass electrical pieces, these vintage looking cords. They're modern cords with just a vintage look. And so I'm hoping that people buy these as an appreciation of the woodwork that I've done, and then later, after the fact, whenever they find out that a totally blind person designed and made it, that makes the project and the piece even more special, and appreciation for it is even greater at that point. Because blind people, it's amazing what we can do. General society doesn't realize it, and so it's up to us to push ourselves and then to share the experience with other people to both push ourselves, better ourselves, and also educate everybody. And I appreciate everybody's support and this, give me support through Facebook, Dan Parker Quest for the Salt, my Bonneville project where I race my motorcycle, and it's been a blessing for my recovery. Thank you very much.